All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and record now if you want to.
Roll in.
Get that out the way.
Hootie hoo.
Did you just give a hootie hoo?
Yeah, you did. A hootie hoo.
I wasn't sure if I heard that right.
You're like, wait, what? Bringing it back. All right. I guess we'll just jump into it. Welcome to No Outside Food Allowed, a.k.a. the Nofa Show. Here on episode 32, we're going to cover the week in entertainment, plus our review of The Ritual on Netflix. We're going to talk about some great sports movies, and then we'll end today with a quiz. Yes. I'm Adam, and today I'll be the Optimus Prime of this group of non-Michael Bay Transformers. My fellow Autobots, Christopher Gagne.
I'm going to go with Jazz.
Ooh, Spirit Fingers.
Not the Black Ranger voiced Michael Bay Jazz, but the OG badass Jazz.
Yeah, we're going
the Porsche. Love him.
Sam Lim.
Hot Rod.
And Chris Felix.
I'm going to go Grimlock.
Grimlock.
Nice.
Change my mind.
He's the best.
You're allowed to do that.
Yes, I do what I want.
I do it. I will.
Because knowing's half the battle.
Welcome, guys. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. What's going on? What's up, guys?
I have embarrassingly not watched any movies. I'm going to just blame it on Movie Pass and skip talking about them anymore because I'm so beat over the head. But fantasy football, man. Football's back. August is slow for movies,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
shout out to my boys on Raising the Bar. It's a fantasy football podcast that they just launched, so shout out to my fellow podcasters. Nice. Check their podcast out, but yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. I'll have to go on there for some tips. I just had my first draft today as well.
You guys do pretty well in your draft, or do you feel confident with the draft so far for you two?
What do you think, Gagne?
I'm going to say that probably two people on my team will somehow injure themselves before the preseason ends, and that's hopefully I'm not the person being shamed in the middle of a plaza somewhere for being in last place. So
Totally. I'm fairly confident with my team.
Do you have enough quarterbacks?
I only have the one. Patrick Mahomes, a rookie, so we'll see how that turns out. But
Wow. Feeling courageous.
yeah, there were some weird people drafted in my group. Defenses went 8th round. It was strange. So I think I got a chance.
Well, what's the usual protocol for those who don't do fantasy football?
The usual protocol is you always wait till the very end to pick your defense and your kicker.
Okay.
Because the point value from the top kicker to the bottom kicker the range isn't very much.
Yeah.
So you can basically wait till the end of the draft to get them. So when somebody in the middle of the draft, decides they want to pull the trigger early on kickers, they start like a waterfall or a wave, kind of, and then randomly they just start getting picked, and the draft just kind of goes wonky from there.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, I mean, it left some players open for me because they picked defenses early, so we'll see how it goes.
But didn't you also lose a player because of that situation?
Well, yeah, I didn't get a pick, like Aaron Rodgers or the top kicker, which, whoop-de-doo.
Next time.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's all right, though. But,
Well, I already know the beginning of my season is going to be rough, being a Buccaneers fan, because my quarterback suspended for 3 games.
yeah, no offense, Sam, but I stayed away from anybody on your team.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Ditto.
I would tell you the same thing. I'd tell you guys the same thing. Stay away from the Buccaneers. It's a horrible team. It's burning quick. Like, my first 3 games, I got, the Eagles, the Saints, and the Steelers. I forgot which order it was, but
tough.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, very tough,
right.
Especially without your starting quarterback.
Did you get a clever name picked out for your team, Adam?
My name is Where's Dez?
I'm still.
Which nobody drafted him. He's actually on the board, but they say he's actually going to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, they officially announced that he is not. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
did they?
And so he's still unsigned, but he was taken to my league, so
Really? Wow, that's surprising.
Come on, Niners. Still hoping.
Yeah, right, for sure.
I'll take it.
What's the name of your team, Gagne?
If you guys remember the 80s, there was a very scary doll called My Buddy. And the fun jingle was, My Buddy and Me. And seeing as I'm a 49er fan, I kind of went with My Buddy and Mia. And have a nice little pic of Jimmy G and his hot date with
the porn star.
adult actress Kiara Mia. So that is. I also drafted Jimmy G on my team for that reason. So
of course.
Nice.
backup quarterback.
Did you reach for him?
No, it was not a reach. He was definitely going a lot higher, and nobody, because we're all Niner fans, I think in my league, wanted to take him for fear of jinxing, what is hopefully going to be a good season. But
yeah, totally.
I had no fear. Had to match the name. I feel like he's got to have some good luck from that night out. So we'll just leave it at that.
I definitely learned a lot.
That's what he said.
Well, we'll get into, because of fantasy football, we'll get into our favorite sports movies a little bit later on.
Nice.
We definitely have some different tastes there, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with some movie news. What's been going on this week? Actually, not a whole
Nothing.
lot.
It's a little on the diet side.
Yes.
The Coke Zero
News light.
movie news.
Yeah.
There were a couple of interesting things we'll mention.
Yes.
Michael Caine came out and said that the ending to Inception actually had one way to it. It wasn't just, make up your own ending.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you guys haven't read, spoilers, but any scene that Michael Caine was in
It's real.
was a real scene. Like, that was an actual scene, not in his dreams. So the last scene was a real scene or a fake scene? Because what did we figure out?
He was in it, right?
He was in it.
He was in
Yeah.
it.
So it's a real scene.
So it was a real scene. So even though the spinning top kept spinning, we know now it's real.
We know now that the real totem was Michael Caine the whole time.
Right.
It wasn't the spinning top.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Alfred.
Totally. That was his.
Alfred
that
was his
callback.
totem.
Anyone feel like Nolan just, told him that to make, Michael Caine feel better, or like,
Right? Kind of make him like
So he could
his role was more important.
right, so he could understand it better, It's just like yours is real, so you're not confused.
Right.
Wow.
I definitely think that's possible. I like to have the ending where you get to make it up yourself. Explore what you will.
Sometimes.
For me,
like
Like how it ends?
Like how it ends?
Yeah, I really love guessing how that ended.
touche. But yeah, that was a bad one.
That was terrible. But
But it didn't even give you anything on that movie.
No.
At least in this one, you can kind of, I guess, write your own chapter. And
The interpretation.
Yeah. It's going
And I like how this one had a lot of layers, literally.
oh, totally.
Like
Oh, dude.
like 3 or 4 layers just to bust out this one guy's ideals, Boom.
I love how
here's the song.
time and space are interchangeable in all of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Just that hallway scene where they're being chased by the security team and they're running sides, they're running
And the
up.
thing turns, the
Yeah,
whole
and it
hallway
rotates.
turns.
Yeah. And it's still shooting away like there's no tomorrow. Man, it is
They
nuts.
actually built that hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just literally running as it was moving.
That's an incredible behind the scenes
Yes.
featurette
They have
about
some
how they did that.
Trippy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Michael
He's
Caine.
a brilliant director.
I want to watch Inception again, to be honest. That was one of my favorite movies of that year.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, at that time I was working at Regal and I found out that it was coming to Red Rock on IMAX. I was like, sweet.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I opened that day, opening shift, I'm like, hey, can you guys call Red Rock Theaters and tickets available? I got 4 on IMAX. I'm like, mind blown. Like, it was the best thing ever on IMAX.
Was it filmed in IMAX? I have a thought that it might have been.
Yeah.
Like probably some scenes were at least.
Yeah,
some
Nolan's
scenes were
been
definitely
Nolan's been doing that for a while now. At least some of his scenery shots are,
Oh,
done
they're
in
so
IMAX.
beautiful. Scenery shots. Just like the simple one for Dark Knight,
Mm-hmm.
where when they launch the grappling gun and they're like shooting
Mm-hmm.
across the city, like, oh man, just that shot itself, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, he's
I
an
can
amazing
make-
director.
Yeah, one of my favorites for sure.
For sure.
Besides Edgar Wright.
Yeah, I know. We all know you love Edgar Wright. All right, moving on. Go watch Inception. Couple of Disney ones. We got a couple of live action remakes.
Yes.
Mulan's got new pics out. Some of the actors and actresses look pretty good. What do you think?
They
Sam?
got Mulan out. She looks pretty good. You know, ready to go. The casting so far is not too bad, I guess. but I don't remember much of the Mulan cartoon because it's been so long since I watched it.
Are they just gonna pick up everybody from Crazy Rich Asians?
That'd be way too easy. Disney has the money. I'm sure they can do it.
For real, right? Be like, this movie was a hit. Come and do our movie now.
I feel like, honestly, with this one, I'm kind of excited where I'm, I guess, less skeptical because there's so many live action characters in this movie versus, say, what are they doing? Lion King and Aladdin, and there's so many characters that you need to animate in those movies that, whereas, Mulan, like, I think this could be a really cool action movie. I don't think it's going to be a, R-rated or PG-13 even, but the original cartoon
is like CG laden,
right?
Well,
Exactly.
Be a good war piece film for sure.
I mean, go back and watch the original cartoon one. It's entertaining. It's it's a basic, simple story, but if you actually read back into the, I don't know if it's like a true story, but it's just like one of those tall tales of this warrior princess, and it's done well. I'm looking forward to this one. I think a little bit more than even some of the other ones they've announced.
Is this going to be like a musical also, kind of in the vein of Beauty and the Beast, or are they going to try
I can
to
only
lay off
imagine
that?
they're going to
I'm sure it has
musicals,
to be.
right?
There has to be some.
Are we still going to get a
musical.
Mushu?
That's what I was wondering. Are we going to get Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. But
That
dude,
would be awesome.
in the cast, I just realized Donnie Yen and Jet Li are both in this.
Yes.
Shut up.
I do Donnie
I'm
Yen.
looking at it right now. Like, whoa, I want to see this now.
Right?
Yeah, that should be.
That's gonna be dope.
Pretty fantastic. Another one that just got announced that I'm looking forward to: Sword and Stone.
So this is another
I
live
action.
hope they don't mess
Nice.
it up.
Yes. I don't know if they're gonna mess it up, but I'm looking forward to the Wizard's Duel, one of my favorites of all time.
Have they announced any?
Yeah.
They haven't announced any casting or anything like that, right?
No.
No, just
Not yet.
announced that they are in the works.
It's going to happen.
Yes. Totally looking forward to that. Probably one of my favorites as growing up. Disney Flix. That
Oh,
and Robin
definitely.
Hood.
Yes, that and definitely Robin Hood. Because Robin Hood, as soon as the whistling starts, you're like,
I know.
oh, I know what this is.
I love that one too. I don't know if they could do a remake of Robin Hood.
I
I
mean,
mean,
there's
I guess they did like.
been
the
plenty
Jungle
of
Book.
interpretations of like Robin Hood. I mean, that was
No,
just
I mean
Disney's
like
version.
the Disney.
You want to see like a
version. If
live
they,
action
if they
animal
did,
version?
With the animals?
like
No.
the Jungle Book, with all the animals. That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
that'd be a trip.
And that actually had
down.
Baloo in it, which was odd.
Yeah,
Like,
it sure did.
in Robin Hood. Yeah, I was never a huge fan of that, and they've done too many Robin Hoods. I would hope they skip that one. It's
I
like,
think I saw one of the Jungle Books, the live action one, and the orangutan was played by Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw
Correct.
that one.
Yes.
That was trippy.
In which
The
one?
live action Jungle
The
Book.
the one that just came out?
yeah.
Last year, or-
Well,
Yeah, it
a
was
couple
a-
years ago.
yeah, a
right?
couple
a couple years ago.
Yeah, Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah, I never watched it beginning to end.
I liked
The
it.
only reason I watched it was to see Christopher Walken as orangutan, and I was like, oh, dang.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good,
pretty
man.
funny.
For me, he stole the scene because, it's Christopher Walken.
Walking, man.
Doing the
Scene
voiceover.
stealer.
Of an orangutan.
Well, I hope this King Arthur's good, but I gotta say, my top favorite King Arthur is the one with Keira Knightley.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't say the Guy
King
Ritchie
Arthur.
version.
Oh,
I
no,
haven't
that
seen
was
the Guy
awful.
Ritchie one.
It was-
Which one?
The Guy
it's
Ritchie
with,
one.
Oh, was
yeah,
it?
it's the one with the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
Charlie
it
Hunnam.
was,
It was
Legend of the
okay.
Sword.
It was all right. It was just like it hurt to look at, like visually. There's like so much going on. Like the camera was like so shaky and just like cutting and zooming in and out. Like it got you dizzy after a while.
The
That's
bad
sad-
part
sad
was
face.
the 3D editing. The 3D editing wasn't as polished or clean as you'd expect, and you expect a lot out of it, and you're like, oh man, you're kind of bummed out,
That's too
but
bad.
at least with the King Arthur I was talking about, like
Yeah, the
that
Clive
whole-
Owen.
dude, that whole cast are all like A-list
Seriously.
actors now.
Yeah. He had like a group of like a fellowship basically, right? And
Yeah.
like every one of them are like A or B actors.
Well, it was
Ray Stevenson was in there.
Ray Stevenson was
Mads
in it.
Mikkelsen.
Ian Griffith.
Ewan Grifford.
However you say his name. Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
right. Fantastic
Yeah.
Four, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cast.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a good movie. Keira Knightley, obviously.
I think Excalibur's still
Oh, yeah.
my favorite. The original
The, like-
80s.
like OG?
Yeah. That's
The Lady in the Lake and all that
exactly.
kind of stuff. Yeah, dude.
I'd see that one again. That's been wow. That was a long time ago.
That one's probably the closest to actual lore.
Just makes me nostalgic for all the 80s like fantasy movies. I
Legend
loved
and all that.
all that stuff. Kroll,
Yeah.
Dune.
so
I just
good.
I
Crawl,
love
dude.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Deep cuts.
Terrible movie, but it's like guilty pleasure. Totally.
Produced by Johnny Brennan's grandfather.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was a producer on that.
There you go. He
funny.
was known for something. That's why he's got a theater now. Johnny, anyway.
Yeah. Because of the success of that movie, how great it was.
Actually,
we
wait,
were
I
doing
want
some-
to do my prediction real quick. Let's segue out of Disney real quick, 'cause, since we're talking Disney. Last week, Infinity War came out on Blu-ray, and I watched it again. It's even better third time around. But so I don't know if you guys heard, but
Did you feel good? Or you didn't feel so great?
yeah, I got it. It's still emotional. But anyways, so I'm gonna just straight up say, go ahead, spoilers into Infinity War. So if you guys saw in the scene, it got released the very beginning when the Black Order first shows up on Earth. Cole Obsidian, the big monster dude with the big axe, he's wearing a sash around his waist.
It looks like
Captain Marvel's colors, straight up Captain Marvel's colors. It doesn't just look like it. That is straight up like her pattern and her color design. So I kind of want to make a prediction right now. I want it on the record right now. Next year's, I think with Captain Marvel's film, we're going to see the Black Order in that again. I feel like because they're going to have Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, played by Jude Law, and we keep seeing Brie Larson in the greenish blue kind of colors. I feel like they're going to fight the Black Order in some sense, and they're probably going to kill off Marvel
original
that
one.
way. And I think he's wearing kind of a trophy around his waist. So I kind of feel, because it is going to be in the 90s, so it's going to be a flashback movie.
Yeah.
I want to make that prediction right now. And I want to double down on this, because if you kind of look into the Black Order in the comics, there's 5 members. There's only 4 in the movie. There's missing one character. It's a character called Supergiant. Stupid name, I know.
Think maybe he gets killed off.
Well, it's a she, but she's like a telepath kind of character, so she's very much like a psycho, like kind of mind control kind of character. I feel like, yeah, maybe she is killed off in this movie. Maybe that's why we didn't see her. Because that was kind of weird that they just didn't include that character at all. She's kind of similar to Ebony Moss, so maybe that's why. But I just want to make that prediction right now because my brain thinks too much when I watch these things.
That's a good catch, man. I've had 3 viewings, but I hadn't even picked out a detail like that, and I like it.
Oh, well, it got pointed out online, and then I just went back and I saw it, and sure enough, yeah, he's definitely wearing Captain Marvel's
I saw
colors.
it online too, and I figured it was just Photoshop.
No, it's
You
there.
actually went and watched the movie.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in there, huh?
It is there.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
pretty-
calling that right now. Captain Marvel's movie, we're going to see the Black Order, and we will see that character Supergiant, and she'll be dead. So yes,
All right.
there we go.
All right. Well,
Pretty
I will throw out my theory too for Infinity Wars, like the sequel that's coming out. I have a theory that at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp, when he got lost in the quantum realm.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a guess, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh no, I spoiled. But you know how he got lost in the quantum realm, right? I think that Ghost didn't disappear when Thanos snapped his finger. I think she faded out and faded back in. So I'm assuming that she's gonna go back to the teleporter, go save him, and I think he's gonna find a way to travel back in time to go save the Avengers from Infinity War. My theory is that he probably used the shrinking disc to possibly shrink the glove of Thanos. But that was just one of my theories. I'm just gonna throw it out there just in case.
So
It's
Ant-Man's going to save the day.
The one guy everybody shits
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye, watch out.
Yeah, what about Hawkeye?
Or does he come back as Ronin?
Oh, he's definitely coming in as Ronin.
Okay, cool.
He's got that mohawk going on right now. Looks pretty sweet.
Ronin is the what's supposed to say it? Alter ego?
And he's not really being an Avenger. He's kind of being Ronin.
It's his dark version.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
He's gonna brood
we have
the
Sexy
whole time.
Cap, and then we have Ronin. You know, same thing.
The shit got real outfit.
Sexy Cap.
This shit got real outfit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You see Cap with his sleeves rolled up? Yeah, he means business.
That's right.
I mean, Cap when he's not shaven. He's so serious with his beard.
I don't want to go up against
How much longer do we have to wait for this movie?
right.
Well, it's
9
April,
months?
I think Captain Marvel comes out. And then Infinity War is like right after that, like the next month.
Is it really?
I'm pretty wrong, I'm
Pretty
sure.
close? Yeah.
but it's somewhere
Hopefully
in that
sometime
time.
next summer.
Sometime
sometime
between
next
now
year.
and 2 years from now. There you go.
Good time frame.
Well, I know next year they're rolling out both
Safe.
of them, right? Captain Marvel and then
Then Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then whatever else Disney has planned.
Well, it's
For Fox.
crazy that the Russo brothers already
So
filmed
much.
everything out to begin with. Like, it's already filmed, both movies already done, just editing. And then I find the fact that it's crazier that all these actors have to live up to their, what's that? The clause where you can't talk about the movies.
Non-disclosure.
Yeah. Like, man, that's rough, sitting on all that information.
For that long.
Exactly.
Well, apparently Spider-Man and fucking Doctor Strange can't keep their shit, sealed. So
No, it's just Spider-Man. Doctor
just
Strange
Spider-Man.
keeps him in check.
Yeah.
now, wasn't it Doctor Strange that gave up?
No.
No,
Infinity
that was Bruce Banner. I mean, Mark
okay,
Ruffalo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mark
he
Ruffalo.
straight up spoiled.
So now
Everybody
when
died.
they go
He said
on
everybody dies.
well, now when they go on press junket, they always send Doctor Strange with Spider-Man,
Right.
so they can
shut him up.
like shh.
Yeah, there's a nice like clip of 6 or 7 different press junkets where it's just Benedict Cumberbatch shutting up Tom Holland, like talking over him. I'll take this question, like just cutting him off constantly. It's, if you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's hilarious.
It's so good. He's like the nice uncle.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
It's pretty funny. It's good stuff. All right. Anything else on movie news, guys?
There's nothing else happened. That was it.
Yep. Yawn.
Slow week.
All right. So, in lieu of football starting and our fantasy football drafts, we were going to talk more about that, but we figured we'd failed enough on, Oscars and Olympics that you probably didn't want to hear too much about our blabbing about football.
Yeah.
So instead, we're going to pivot and do sports movies.
Hey.
We all love sports movies.
can we see what you guys all have selected?
Definitely a wide range of sports movies. There are the good ones ranging from Rocky to $1 Million Baby, Creed, The Wrestler, Rudy. Very good classic movies. But these are the ones we picked.
Who's going to go first?
Why don't you go, Felix?
Sure. I picked the easy one. It's The Sandlot. I mean, sure, it's not like a pro sports team or like
It's
kind
a
of movie
classic,
like that,
bro.
but it's just everybody's childhood. I mean, there was always a point where we all had a baseball glove for whatever reason, whether or not
Yeah.
we used it ever.
Right.
We all had one at some
We go
point.
fuck around in the street with our friends.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really awesome to watch this kind of movie because I mean, I'm not a kid anymore, kind of, I guess, but like I can't imagine it being like this for kids nowadays anymore, where they're so eager to get outside and go play and put their money together to go get a baseball.
For
Like
sure,
it's
right?
it's such an
Not
awesome
that
scene. It makes
nowadays.
me remember being a kid and just like wanting to hang out with a group of friends and just
Exactly.
play games all day. And it's just such
You
a
mean back in days when we were actually social to each other?
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
like biked over to our friend's house and
Oh, wait,
hung out
is that
outside,
with or without a
built
phone?
forts
I
and-
can't remember.
Oh, phones? Yeah.
hell no phones. No, you see any of those kids with a phone? Come on, they're just out there just getting dirty, just playing baseball. It's a fun, great family movie.
Dude,
it
it's
still holds up
perfect.
to this day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could call it like one
I
of those
think
perfect.
probably
family
every
films.
one of us could identify with one of those guys too. And
yeah.
that's probably why it was so classic. Is
Yeah, I was definitely
all-
Smalls. I was not the athlete. But yeah, no, I mean, I love this movie. I think it still holds up to this day. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch it right now. It's great.
Man, the hilarious scene about the lifeguard.
Oh, Wendy Peppercorn. Yeah, there's so many like little quotable things in there too. It's like she's always up there oiling herself, and oiling. It's such a good fucking movie, man. There's so many great lines. James Earl Jones in there. You got the great chase scene at the end when he pickles the beast. I mean,
That's right. Big ass dog.
It's so good, man. I mean, there's just it's one of those things that just tugs on my heartstrings every time. So it's always worth a
definitely.
rewatch. It, like I said, it always holds up to me, and it's one of those I still pop on, every once in a while. So just really go do yourself a favor. It's a great feel good movie. Dennis Leary at his nicest. It's hilarious. As a stepdad. But yeah, go watch it.
I like it. What about you, Sam?
I'm gonna go with the fanciest sports movie ever, which is
Oh God.
Airbud.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Story of Ricky Bobby.
NASCAR's a sport too.
NASCAR.
Driving car sports too all day, baby.
Bunch of left turns.
No, but it really chose this movie because it was the magic of Will Ferrell and William H. Macy, like just a comical duel, and
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
William H. Macy was in.
Oh no, William
Wait,
H.
John
Macy.
C. Riley.
John C.
John C.
Reilly.
Reilly.
The other guy with the
Sorry,
middle
dude.
initial.
Totally.
Damn you, middle initials.
But just the cast itself was hilarious, and then freaking oh my god, what am I drawing like? Michael Clark Duncan
Oh, his
Yeah,
pit crew guy.
that's true. He was like the pit guy, right?
when he's singing "Last Dance," romance.
Don't they stab him in the leg at some point?
Yeah, Ricky
Yeah.
Bobby stabs himself. He's like,
Oh.
"My legs don't work, okay? How dare you curse me?" And he stabs himself in the leg, and he starts screaming. They're like, "See, told you your leg works."
Yeah. Then they try to pry it out with another knife.
God.
Yeah.
Or how they, in the movie, there's traumatic times. Their friendship's broken up, but they still call each other in the middle of the night, asking him how to use his house.
You
It's so
cheated
big.
on my wife. Why do I care?
So why even call me right now? Because I like to party.
This one took the Anchorman model and just absolute absurdities from start to finish. It's
Definitely.
the jokes are just unreal. The sons and the relationship with
Walker and Texas Ranger.
Yeah. It's just like, you're just like, what is happening? What am I watching? Like, so ridiculous.
That's why it's
Very
so good
ridiculous.
in my book. You can pop it in
it's
anytime.
very quotable.
Quote. Yeah.
It's probably one of the only Will Ferrell movies I actually like.
Okay, we can still be friends.
Yeah.
See, there's still hope.
I'm the opposite. I think it's one of the only Will Ferrells I don't like. I just
Really?
Yeah, didn't do it for me. Like, I know some people feel the same way about Anchorman, and I loved that, but
That'd be me.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I ate a chocolate covered squirrel.
it's just I like to think of my little baby Jesus as I just what? Like, it's the Jaguar in the
4 pound,
car.
3 ounce.
Like, come on, just so crazy.
So good.
Yeah, it's absurd.
So those jokes were too over the top for you, huh?
Yes, but fighting a bear was not okay. So just
Right.
She woke up the
What's
mama
that?
bear. Why did you do that?
What's that, Baxter? You ate a whole wheel of cheese?
see. I
Why?
don't-
I'm not even mad.
I'm just impressed, right? All right, Ganya, what you got?
I went with Major League. It was one of the first sports movies I really remember like gravitating towards. I had a babysitter who showed it to me probably way too young of an age, but she was older and she was the older sister of one of my teammates, and so it just fit in with the whole theme of baseball and the love of the game, and the jokes are just amazing, and it's got an all-star cast, and it
Yeah,
just
that has a great cast too.
I mean, I can't
Snipes, Charlie Sheen.
I can't take
Yeah,
a shot
Snipes
of
and
whiskey
Sheen.
now without, or a shot of rum without being like, up your butt, Joe Boo, and just, like,
Joe Boo.
oh,
is
it's
great, man.
just,
You got no marbles.
yeah, you want to know where the Allstate guy started before he was the president and before he
There you
started
go.
slinging insurance? He was Pedro Serrano, and he couldn't hit curveballs, and he did voodoo, and it was, just,
Yep.
man, I love it. Wesley Snipes is amazing.
Buddha,
Like, you,
meet Joe Boo.
yeah, you may run like Maze, but you hit like shit. Like, it's yeah, for me, it's to this day like just makes me laugh, and I love it. So, and I'm a
Very, very funny.
that's my sport, baseball. So I had to go with the baseball one.
I think that's funny. Yours was a comedy. Chris Gagne's was a comedy. Sandlot, is that considered a comedy?
It's funny.
It's a
Kind
classic
of funny.
comedy.
I'm telling you, you
Alright,
won't
mine's-
laugh.
Mine is a football related movie. The first of many MTV films, Varsity Blues.
Ah.
This was Paul Walker's first movie. Mm-hmm. He was like the first string quarterback that went out injured, and then in comes Dawson from Dawson's Creek, take over the starting role and lead him on to the championship.
I don't want to live your life.
Yo, live.
Got John
That's right,
Voight
I
as
got
the
it.
coach, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
as a great, terrible asshole coach.
Yeah.
That we all had. Everyone had an asshole coach like that.
Absolutely rode him into the ground and took all of their good luck and made it into canners and all that good stuff. And they eventually ran him out. But yeah, Varsity Blues was just great for me back at the time when it came out. I was actually in the football team, so it was very relatable to me.
Oh, definitely.
I wouldn't
Especially
say
the fact that,
I wouldn't say it had a great cast, but that was pretty much all unknowns at that point.
Memorable though. Yeah,
but
Scott Caan, James Caan's younger son.
Yep.
Went on to the Ocean's
Scott
movies.
It had the whipped cream bikini scene
Yeah.
with the girl from Heroes. I forget her name right now.
Oh, is that
Ally Larder.
Ellie Larder?
Ellie Lauder.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like probably her first movie.
Yeah, she was in Final Destination, wasn't she?
But that came out
Varsity
after.
Blues.
Did it?
Yeah, Varsity Blues was first, wasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I never saw this.
97?
You
honestly.
never saw
I
Varsity Blues?
confession.
Yeah,
No.
man, that
it's
was
good.
probably
I had this on my list.
1994 or something like that. Pretty early on.
Damn, is it that old?
Yeah.
Huh.
I had some, I guess, secondary choices.
Okay.
I really love Tin Cup, one of my favorite golf movies.
Yeah.
Good call.
Kevin Costner, plays just kind of a
You're always cheering for Kevin Costner, especially in that movie.
yeah.
Because you're like,
he's just a fucked up in the head golfer, and eventually he ends up putting off like a 13 in the major championship, and that's like what his saving grace was like.
speaking of
Him
golfer,
failing out of a
did you
golf
see
tournament.
Tiger Woods kind of redeem himself?
Dude,
this
yes, I
past
actually
Saturday?
watched that.
That was fucking
It was amazing.
amazing.
He went on a good ass run. He'll be back.
I think so.
He's gonna win one.
Dude, the
Yeah,
the
he'll
cheering
win
was
another one.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
it
was like,
it was actually
wow.
really cool to watch.
Yeah,
People were backing him from every hole.
that's what she said.
Walked into that one. Also, that's what she said.
And then another one I really liked was Any Given Sunday
That's a classic for me.
Yeah, Jamie
Oh,
Foxx.
how did I
is their
forget
kinda
that
coming
one?
Quarterback, and yeah,
Good call.
It was really good. And they got Al Pacino with like the Inches speech, which just
The
was probably
crazy
one of the best
coach.
speeches in movies.
And then you had the trainer that looked the other way, gave injections.
That was
Lawrence Taylor was the
there was a bunch of ex-football players
Yeah.
in that movie. Johnny Unitas was the coach in there. Yeah, tons of football
the
players. A
eyeball
lot of
popping
action.
out. Oh,
Oh, that was nuts.
Yeah.
That reminds me of The Longest Yard then.
also a good one.
New one or old one?
I like them both, but I like the newer one because it had the wrestlers I recognize.
Never
I
saw
was
the
like,
original.
wow. Original one was with
Burt Reynolds.
Isn't that Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds.
Yep.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, I never saw
I don't
that.
think I ever saw that one either. Yeah.
Not me.
I like the new one though. It did have a bunch of wrestlers.
Yeah.
A lot of good
You're
little
like,
cameos.
I know these guys.
Yeah.
Man, do you think about it? There is a lot of good sports movie out there, big time.
There's a lot that I didn't see. I realized looking at the list, like I honestly haven't seen half the movies that you guys just listed. To be honest with
Did you ever
you,
watch Coach Carter?
saw that.
no. Who was in that again?
Samuel Jackson.
Sam Jackson. Yeah.
Ah,
It was
yeah,
decent.
didn't
He-
see
It
that.
was like the
Taught
first
a bunch of
movie
inner city
where
kids.
he used the word motherfucker.
Right, he had to be a teacher.
You had Remember the Titans was
Yes.
Fantastic, too.
Oh.
Yes. Love that one. Sunshine.
young Ryan Gosling.
Yes, totally young Ryan Gosling. You never saw Remember the Titans, Felix?
No.
Oh my
Add it
God,
to my
Felix.
list. I know. I'm sorry.
Denzel coaching Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I know.
Zero fun, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah, he puts them through some
I
hell.
suck today. I'm sorry.
Where you been, bro? Where you been?
Not watching that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We
There's
still love
like
you.
a list. I was like doing research. I'm like, my God, there's so many movies that I have not seen that I should be watching right now.
How about Rudy? Have you seen Rudy?
I saw lots of previews on the pay-per-view channel when I was a kid
That's a
because I
no.
was constantly on
That's
it.
a no.
Rudy's
It was
a
one of
good
those things
one.
that there's always a commercial going
Quick
on
question. I know you hate this movie, but technically, is it still a sports movie? Hot Rod. Asking for a
for that.
friend.
No,
I'm just asking for a friend.
He said no.
absolutely.
You don't watch enough sports movie. But he does.
That's how it's
so does,
for.
does Hot Rod count?
What? Yeah, I don't know.
Failed stuntman is
I
not a
don't
sport.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what sport does he do?
But he's doing stunt work. He's like riding his bike, trying to jump things.
Yeah, totally. No, I don't think so.
Because biking could be part of BMXing.
True.
It can be.
So
But not when
Hot
you-
Rod.
But that movie
when you're
sucked.
jumping over.
So
Thank you,
I
Ganya.
was
I'm
trying to
not
be
the
nice
only
about
one.
it, but there you go. Yeah,
No.
that's why.
All right, Sam, you're
other
the
than
only one that
Isla
like
Fisher, what does that movie have?
That was something else.
that.
That movie's better when you watch it in a different style.
I don't even know if that could save you, buddy.
It might make me more upset.
You said so.
Well, let's talk about another movie that can maybe be saved by being in an alternate state. So this week on No Outside Flix Allowed,
Yes.
we watched The Ritual.
Who's we?
The
three of us,
You
apparently.
didn't watch it?
No, I took your advice.
You guys need to make your own opinions. Stop listening to everybody else and just watch it.
So Sam didn't watch
So
it.
it's me
just-
versus Adam.
And, well, Ganya watched it.
Nope.
Oh, Ganya watched it?
I did
Nope.
not.
Oh, well, freaking A. All right.
You were the smart ones.
Why are you guys even here? What is this?
All right, I guess we'll just argue about it, Felix.
I want to, head to head.
Apparently, Adam hated this like everything else on Netflix.
Round one. Keep your score, Sam.
I think this one, along with all the other Netflix originals, is just another sci-fi movie. This is
But the extension was so good,
this is
though.
a typical horror movie
Okay.
with every cliche you can imagine, with a bunch of British guys that you can't hardly hear in the woods, who decide they're going to take a shortcut because one of them trips over a rock, and then they run into like a cabin in the woods with old hillbillies and some monster that they never really find until the end, which was actually the only cool part, which was the monster reveal.
Do you
other
say
than
the
that-
Legends Nordic or
Yeah, it's kind of heavy on.
Yeah, it's like Nordic lore. The thing is supposed to be like a god of some sense. I forget exactly how you say that
it
word.
said
but
something like he was a bastard offspring of Loki. He was part Jotun, which was giant, right?
Yeah, like frost giant or something like
Okay,
that.
okay.
So it's like kind of giant troll thing.
But what it looked like was a deer with human hands as
What?
like a trunk.
you gotta describe it better than that. 'Cause that was just,
How would you describe?
I know,
How would you describe
'cause
it?
the way
sir?
you describe that, I just picture like a deer with like these tiny T-Rex hands. Like, no, this
Deadpool
thing
baby
like
hands.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it really was.
All right, it was a big deer.
It was kind of, yeah. Like, it was like this weird giant, like fucking elk thing. And
Did
then,
it have
yeah,
big hands or
it has
small
this weird.
hands?
It kind of, in a weird way. Do you remember like Total Recall, the thing that came out of the dude's chest? I forgot what it was called.
Quato.
Quato, yeah, that thing. Open your mind or something like that.
Yeah.
But it kind of was like sticking out of its chest, sort of thing. It was this weird, like demonic looking, like ghost face thing with like these crazy, like longer arms that could kind of extend and grab shit. So it was this weird, like amalgamation of bastardization of fucking all kinds of crazy stuff.
It was like if you jammed a demon inside the elk's face and then made it all shadowy and dark and like,
So is it
spotlight eyes.
Does it come off like the monster come off like a Full Metal Alchemist with all the eyes and all the hands coming out? You know what I'm talking about?
Not really like that.
No?
It had these
Okay.
weird things where it would stand in certain positions and it looked like it would become something totally different because like the design of it I actually enjoyed. Like it would
Okay.
stand up at certain points and it just like became this extended like kind of figure. And I couldn't really describe it
Almost
honestly. It was
kind of like a
actually
transformer.
a little bit, yeah. So I thought that as far as creature design, it was interesting at the very least. I actually kind of enjoyed it. And as for what you're saying about all the classic tropes, yeah, I mean it had those
How many
tropes
people
of it, but-
survive?
One guy.
And the one guy, he made it out of the forest.
Hmm.
And then the demon, whatever, it couldn't make it. It couldn't.
It
leave
was
the
like sort of
forest.
a cursed forest, so they
Right.
kind of got locked in there. So I get what you're saying. Like, no, there was definitely like those dumb traditional horror tropes that like every other movie has. But I actually felt like a sense of dread when they're in there. I actually felt like the suspense was actually pretty good. There was actually some pretty good shots. It was very dark and it played with your mind a lot. It was one of those movies like where you don't really see a lot right away, but you see glimpses of stuff, and it fucks with you that way. And I like stuff like that. It's creepy. The one particular scene where they do hit this, like, of course, cabin in the woods. They see all kinds of like witchcraft markings and all that stuff inside. So that's where they realize it's cursed, and they wake up and have these crazy nightmares. And just some of the imagery I thought was just like, it kind of just hit me with that little small sense of dread. And as they're progressing, things are getting worse. Like I enjoyed it. Like I said, it had a sense of suspense that that I enjoyed throughout.
I think what I didn't like about it was when they got to the cabin, it kind of felt like the hills have eyes, and then they had all these kind of like old hillbilly types come out, and they're the ones that are kind of like holding them there and doing the ritual, which they never really explain what the ritual is.
Right.
I mean, I only assume that it's, feeding the giant to keep them safe or whatever. But yeah, in the end, the one guy, he leaves the forest, they yell at each other, him and the demon, right? And then he just he leaves, right? And that's the
Yeah.
end of it?
Well, I mean, at the same time, once you've been through all that shit, you've been like lost in the woods for 4 days, whatever it was. They're all starving. Three of his friends just got killed off in
Is
front of
this
his eyes.
ending
It's-
open interpretation?
No, he escapes. He's just pretty much freaking out
He
at
just
that point. He's
conquered.
just kind of like,
He's like,
he's
"Oh,
like,
I got you."
It's just like, yeah, when he just, when you walk away from something, he's just like traumatized and freaked out. So it does come off a little silly. Like, I'll admit, it's not a perfect movie. I just thought it was enjoyable. The end, there are like a lot of things that it left unanswered. Like, I wanted to know more about this cult. I wanted to know exactly what was going on, what was up with the monster thing, because it didn't really explain much other than they were sacrificing him. And it, in a weird way, like, I don't really know what he was doing with the people they were sacrificing, because he was kind of just shanking them on trees and leaving them there like they're ornaments. Like, he's making a collection of people. So that was just, it didn't really explain that, but again, like I said, I enjoyed the build up to it, and like it made me want to look more into the lore, because I guess this is based off actual like Nordic lore as far as what the demon and monster is. So
Okay.
I found that entertaining, and then as for the way it was shot, again, nothing too original, I guess you could say, but there's some pretty good shots in the woods. There's one creepy shot where one of the guys is trying to find like a higher ground, and he sees like the hands kind of like creep behind the trees and stuff like that. I like those little small, like, if you blink, you'll miss
Reveal
it.
shots
Kind of,
and-
yeah, like small little teases as to what's to come. And for a second there, it really felt like it wasn't going to show what the monster was, and I was going to be really pissed off if it didn't. But luckily, they actually did show it, and I enjoyed the reveal of the monster. I thought it was at least original, to say the least.
It was. I think that was the best part, was the monster.
Yeah,
And
but again,
the creature design.
yeah, it's not a perfect movie, but I enjoyed, stuff like that. I thought it was, cool. At least we got to see a monster, and it didn't look super, super silly. Like when we saw Extinction, like, I know obviously the twist was that they were humans,
Yes,
but
but they did
when
look
they
silly.
showed up, I'm like, why do these guys look so humanish? And
Insect people.
yeah, I didn't. So that's why I wasn't buying it up until that point. But back to this one, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fine, entertaining watch. It's not the greatest thing ever, of course.
Again, I think it was only about an hour and a half.
all these movies
so,
are short.
yeah.
We're realizing.
These are extended sci-fi films.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I gave it a 6. It was, What do you think?
Yeah, I gave it a 7.5. Like I said,
7.5?
it's definitely an entertaining watch. It's not, again, the most original thing. It does have those traditional horror tropes, but I feel like it was executed at least in a way where I found it entertaining, and I enjoyed the suspense throughout the film. So the ending was a bit of a meh, but overall, I thought it was fun.
Decent monster though.
See, I thought
If you
about,
like horror movies, go ahead, give it a
Okay.
shot.
I thought about watching this movie
Hey,
a couple times.
how come you guys didn't watch it?
I was about to tell you, I didn't watch it because I was busy working on season 4 and 5 of Ray Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah, Ray Donovan's a TV show on Showtime. It's a fucked up show. It's Liev Schreiber. He's a fixer.
Schreiber, that's right.
Yeah, he fixed a lot of things, and it's bloody. But the past
Does he work for the Mafia?
Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
He's a fix for Hollywood, but it's a really good show, good writing. Just every episode's fucked up. Like you're like, oh man, that can't get crazier. Next episode, you're like, okay,
It's Showtime, so it's full on R.
yeah, definitely worth checking out.
So that's your excuse, huh? What about
Yeah.
you, Ganya?
My excuse? Work travel? Can I use that?
Is that a question mark at the end?
Yeah,
There was no Wi-Fi.
like,
There's no Wi-Fi for
yeah,
Ghana.
yeah. The Wi-Fi didn't work, so I had to rewatch The Dark Knight Rises in a hotel room,
sure.
and bad Wi-Fi.
I mean, if there was a choice between The Dark Knight Rises and
So you'd
this
rather watch a good movie than do your homework? Okay.
Yeah, even with
Noted.
commercials.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny that it ended up this way. Because we decided as a group, since this new category, now outside Flix Allowed, has been kind of a downer. We've had more bad movies than good ones. That we're going to switch this up a little bit. We took AFI's top 100 movies list of all time.
Such an amazing list. Seriously.
And there's only 29 of them that I've seen out of 100. So we're going to go back and kind of rewatch some of these old classic, well-received movies and give you our download on some that maybe you guys haven't even seen. Some of the old classics, Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, stuff like that.
To Kill a Mockingbird, The Godfather 1 through 3.
Nope, just 2.
Just the
two?
first
Just 1 and 2.
Oh, and then
Correct. We got all kinds of other ones. We're going to start with Raging Bull, is what we decided.
Yeah.
1980. I believe it was nominated for Best Movie.
Probably.
Um,
Let's pretend I did my research.
Well, directed by Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro as Jake LaMotta. So it's based on a true professional boxer, and it's one of most people's favorite Scorsese films. So I'm interested, and I like his work. I've just never seen this movie somehow, but looking forward to it.
So yeah, we're gonna try that. Plenty of movies on the list that we haven't seen as a group. So
Oh yeah.
some other ones, obviously, Schindler's List, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Godfathers. Those are all on Netflix. So we're gonna probably check out some of those first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
This is exciting. Good
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, exactly.
What was everybody
Review some good
else's
ones.
score? I know Adam's yours was 29. Mine was 29.
I didn't do a count actually. That's my bad.
There's
I
actually
just-
it's a cool list if you go to the website. There's a list of the top 100. You can check off the ones that you've seen.
we should make a post. See how much
Yeah,
we've
we
all
could.
seen.
Actually, it's a good one.
That'd be fun.
Let's do that.
I'm at about 39 to 40.
39 to 40. Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty
I'm
good.
there.
I'm scared.
And I told Adam the reason I'm there was because a lot of my English classes and also music appreciation had to watch
Totally.
a lot of the movies that I was able to knock off the list. I was like, yes.
Yeah, you got some
School saved
musicals
me.
on there. What? Singing in the Rain and West Side Story. are
West
on
Side
there.
Story, and then
Yep.
Sound of Music.
I know I saw West Side Story in school when I was probably in like third or fourth grade or something like that.
I actually
So-
still go watch Singing in the Rain when they re-show it at Regal Cinemas or at the theaters, the Fathom events, because they do behind the scenes, and they still talk about all the old school stuff, and I really enjoy it. Singing in the Rain, it's a hilarious movie.
It's hilarious.
hilarious. Well, I haven't seen it, so maybe we'll do that
Me
too.
neither. Man, you realize how little movies I've seen.
I was actually surprised that I had seen 29 on this list. Just because a lot of these movies are made before I was born.
Yeah.
But there are some great classics on there. Wizard of Oz, of course, I've seen that. Some. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Pretty excited to see some of these older movies. Yeah. Anything else on the AFI Top 100? Anything else we're looking forward to watching?
Ooh.
Citizen
I'd say
Kane.
the whole list, man. That thing's
This
amazing.
is the whole list.
Citizen Kane.
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen.
I'm ashamed of myself for only seeing 29 because there's some movies on there like that you just know are classics. I just haven't seen them. Casablanca, Gone with the Wind. Like I don't know. We
Start checking things
we're
off
spoiled.
now.
So much
I know,
content now.
That's definitely for sure.
I think I technically cheated because, I feel like during school, going to school in Florida, a lot of the English teachers cheated. It's all about watching classic movies, breaking down the scenes, and write a little essay. Because basically all the teachers were lazy.
Instead of book reports, so let's just throw on a movie.
Because remember the old school AV cart
Oh, sure.
You roll it
You
out.
bring in the TV with the VCR, and this is what you're doing for the day.
Exactly. It's
Give you a little worksheet to spend some, bullshit time on.
while teachers just busy doing their own thing.
I think that's probably where I watch West Side Story.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm making my list.
Yeah, he's going at it.
Just print it out. It'll
Far
be
so
easier.
good, I think.
Felix, let's do this quiz here.
Yeah, so sports quiz. Obviously I'm not the most well-versed in sports, so these are all just sports-themed questions.
He was like, I was making this quiz, and I
Yes.
was like, I don't know, I haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, they refer to like stuff like baseball hats and just stuff like that. Okay, so just
Dude,
little minor things that I know.
I love you for this. This is gonna be
So, yeah,
awesome.
this is gonna
Hold
be
on,
fun.
let me keep
Hey,
score here.
You have the paper and pen, so you will keep
I
score.
predict the championship goes to Gagne. But
I
anyways,
don't know,
continue.
man.
Yeah.
Good chance of that.
I'm
These,
afraid-
these are
afraid,
not
be
deep
very
questions
afraid.
at all. These are very simple, very shallow questions.
Days of Thunder? Is that the answer?
No.
Great movie.
Actually, let me get one thing prepared real quick. Give me 1 second. Because I have a list of things in here. You need to have a lot of editing this week. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, shit, we got a short episode. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find the dead air. Yeah, like, oh, right here. Chop.
Yeah, right. Cut.
Come on,
Be
Wikipedia.
like,
give me my answers.
We lost track here. Tangent here.
Okay, I think I got it. All right, let's go with that. Alrighty, so let's just start at the beginning. You guys know how this works. Buzzing with your name, win prize.
Do it.
Okay. So, question 1. What NFL Hall of Famer is kidnapped in the third act of Ace
Adam.
Ventura: Pet Detective? Adam.
Dan Marino.
Yes, it was.
Let
Sir,
him
you
finish the question.
That was the rule, sir.
Did you
gotta
say
let
that?
them-
Technically, I didn't state that rule, but let's implement that rule now.
That's the only rule we have on this quiz.
No holds barred.
It's a no holds barred match.
All right, my
Anyways,
bad.
moving on. Yeah, whatever. You got it. All right,
Only my
moving
favorite.
on.
Yeah.
1991, City Slickers. Billy Crystal wears a baseball cap for which Major League
Gagne.
Baseball team?
Sam.
Gagne.
New York Mets.
It is the New York Mets.
Son of a bitch.
Alrighty. So that's 1-1.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Name 3 other NBA stars besides Michael Jordan that appeared in Space Jam.
Gagne.
Gagne.
I can't do it.
Sean Bradley. Charles Barkley. Patrick Ewing.
That is correct. Good
Nice.
job. Also had Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues. Could have
Well
said Larry
played,
Bird
bro.
also.
Well played.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah,
He was in there. He was clear, remember?
So Gagne has 2.
Alrighty. Let's go TV.
Oh, that's too sorry.
Oh, on the TV sitcom Married with Children, Al Bundy scored how many touchdowns in a single game while playing for the Polk High School Panthers?
Shit.
Sam.
Samuel.
10.
No. 10. 10 touchdowns in a single game?
Al Bundy dreams
Adam.
big.
6.
Adam. No.
Gagne. 5.
No, so close though. It was 4. Damn. Scored
Yeah.
4 touchdowns in a single game.
That's a
possible.
good find.
That's not even a boast.
Very possible. Alrighty. In Happy Gilmore, Happy proudly wears what NHL team's memorabilia?
Gagne.
Sam.
Sam. Or who was that? Was that
I
Gagne?
think it was Gagne.
Gagne. Let's go Gagne.
Damn it.
Bruins.
Yeah.
Boston Bruins.
Boston
Yes.
Damn it.
Gagne might be winning this. In 1993's Rookie of the Year, Henry Rowengartner becomes a Major League pitcher for what team?
Gagne.
Gagne.
Chicago Cubs.
It is the Chicago Cubs.
Damn it. I was going to say Yankees, but I knew that was wrong.
Funky butt loving.
Did he just say funky butt loving? All right, so this is kind of a tough one. Name any one of the 9 Major League Baseball players that Mr. Burns hires for his company softball team in
Sam.
the Simpsons episode Homer at the Bat.
Finish the question.
I'll let Sam have it. Go ahead.
Daryl Strawberry.
Daryl Strawberry's one. Good job.
On the board.
Yeah, could have said Roger Clemens, Wade Boggs, Ken Griffey Jr., Steve Sachs, Ozzie Smith, Jose Canseco.
Wow.
Nice.
Lots of people to pick from. I know that was... Okay, anyways.
Good work.
Moving on. Who
Thank you.
plays Shoeless Joe Jackson in the movie Field of Dreams?
Adam.
Adam.
Ray Liotta.
Yes, it was. All right.
Got the nod from Sam there.
Invincible is based on the true story of Vince Papale, who played 3 seasons for which NFL team?
Sam.
Gagne.
Samuel. Sam.
Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Nice.
Bunch of shit eaters. Not actually the fans. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stop
I
eating
never
people.
saw that. Any good?
With Mark Wahlberg.
He's
Yeah.
decent.
Not
That
bad.
was pretty good.
Alrighty. What legendary Chicago Bears coach starred alongside Will Ferrell in Kicking and Screaming?
Sam.
Adam.
Sam.
Sam.
Finish the question.
I keep forgetting my own role. I'm sorry.
Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
Mike Ditka.
Good one.
Coach.
Juice box score. All right.
All Bears.
The Bears.
All right, what's the score on that?
Looks like me 2, Sam 3, Gagne 4.
Voice. Alrighty. Moneyball stars Brad Pitt as Billy Bean, general manager of what Major League Baseball team?
Gagne.
Gagne.
Oakland A's.
Yes, it is.
Never saw that.
Funny side
What?
note.
So good.
Yeah, it was good.
Really
Funny
good.
side note. That's the only reason Kevin knows about baseball and he likes the Oakland A's was
Because of that movie?
Because of the movie.
Wow.
Chris Pratt, Jonah Hill's in it. Good supporting
Yeah.
cast.
All right, moving on. In Rocky 3, Rocky Balboa faces Thunderlips, played by what legendary pro wrestler?
Adam.
Gagne.
Adam.
Hulk Hogan.
Yes, it was.
Thunderlips.
Was it Terry Beluga? Is that his original name?
I think so.
Something like that.
Terry. Shit.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Let's call him that. In Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Cameron Fry wears what hockey team's jersey throughout the movie?
Sam.
Gagne.
Sam.
The Devils.
No.
Adam.
Oh,
I guess.
shit.
Well,
his name.
Gagne went.
Yeah, Gagne.
Gagne?
Go ahead.
Detroit Red Wings.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Damn you. Alrighty. What's the score on that?
Gagne wins.
Well, I got one more.
Gagne
is
still
there-
wins.
is there any chance
3
I
to
can-
3 to 6.
Well, just for fun, because I like this question. In the movie Little Giants, what play did the Giants use to win the game against the Cowboys?
Adam.
Adam.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yes, it was.
Ah, good one, Adam. I couldn't think of it.
Adam.
Oh, it's so
I
Rumble
had to
Whiskey.
pull that
Rumble
one. I had
Whiskey.
to pull that one.
Wow, you really pulled that one out of your
That is a
butt,
good
bro.
question, Felix.
That was
I
a good
love
one.
That was my favorite one. That's when I had it right there.
Puerto Rico.
Thank you for the quiz. That was an
Good
awesome
movie.
quiz.
That
All
was fun.
right.
That
Gagne,
was.
pull that one out there, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
How many is that for Gagne now?
That was Gagne 6, me 4, Sam 3.
How many wins is that for Gagne?
I think it's at
Infinity
least 3
Gauntlet.
now. Since we've been keeping track, I think I've got 3. So
Yep.
Oh, since we
So
began to
Gagne
track.
needs 5 more or 2 more stones to complete his gauntlet.
I feel like he still has some off the record wins too in there somewhere in the past.
We might have to go back and take a look at our quiz results and
yeah,
put them on a board somewhere.
lifetime leaderboard.
I'm sure the audience is kicking our butts on these quizzes, so
Probably.
I would hope so.
Dude, but that was a fun quiz though. Seriously, I was like, man, because like, I'm picturing like the logo, but I'm like, shit.
For what? For which one?
Well,
Anything you asked, the jerseys,
anything, the jersey
Oh, okay.
about
the Red Wings, man.
Yeah, it was Red Wings, but I was like, fuck.
You're like, it's red. It's got some little thing on
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
yeah, that was definitely. I was on top of that one, but Gagne's faster than me.
Yeah. Job, man.
Told you
That was
he was
fun.
ready. He was ready for this quiz.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
love me my sports movies. They're
I
so much
know.
fun.
Yeah, he had a lot of catching up to do, apparently.
Which we'll start with Raging Bull.
That is correct.
Which is a
Yep.
boxing movie. So we'll
We
get
will
back
watch
to you
that
on
movie.
that next week. We're gonna try and get Felix to give us his Hulu password or something.
You guys can come over. You guys don't have to just steal my shit. 'Cause you're
Movie night at Felix's house.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Let's do this.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to watch Raging Bull with us, go ahead and we'll comment on that next week.
Post up a picture of Raging Bull. Ask for your comments. See how you feel about it. Did you enjoy it? Did it still hold up to the time?
Yeah, that's a
You
big
know,
question. Is
it's
it
a good
still
classic.
a good movie?
Yeah.
You know,
Let us know your AFI top 100 score.
exactly. We'll
Curious.
post it on ours.
How embarrassing our scores are.
But, dude, I'm embarrassed to put mine up. I have to recount mine again.
Well, I have a feeling I can't wait to see Eddie's score.
Why is that?
I want to see. Well, I want to see what's his score for AFI top
I
100.
don't know. He watches a lot of anime. Maybe he's missed out on all these good sports.
Well, I
flicks.
mean, the problem is there's no Die Hard, so
I'm going to give him under 15. Under 15. Taking
I
bets
hope so,
right
'cause-
now. Over under.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Felix was at what, 18, 19?
Yeah,
Yeah.
18.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so-
give
There.
Chai under 10.
Oh, Chai, he might not have seen any of these movies.
10
He
and
might
under
not
for
even
Chai.
seen Lord of the Rings.
Our busy producer Chai. We don't let him out of the dungeon.
He has so many jobs and so much TV to watch, and apparently he's
He's
5
busy
seasons,
watching Suits right
5
now.
seasons deep in Suits on like 5 days.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a
I
good show.
don't know if I want to watch that. I've seen like a little bit of that. Isn't that the what's her face in that show? Right
Yeah,
now?
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, that girl.
Dude,
Princess.
but the writing's really good though. Seriously, for Suits,
I've been
like,
told that by many people. I just haven't dug into it yet.
the dialogue's interactive. It keeps you compelled. Like every time there's a storyline that part of the arc, you really want to write it out and see what happens to the crew. And like
How many
the banter.
seasons?
They're up to season 7 right now.
Okay, not too many that I have to like get fatigued.
Well, not only that, but like the seasons are kind of short. Anywhere between 15 to 14 episodes. It's like it's not too long because they split their season in half.
Wait, how many
On
episodes are there
USA?
per season?
Between 14 and 15.
That's still less than anything on CW. You can do that.
Right.
Okay, so I redid my list. I watched 19. I totally missed Fargo. But yeah, I still haven't seen enough.
19, man. All right. Well, we got plenty of movies on the list to go through then.
Yeah. Let's start watching.
So Eddie under 15 and Chai under 10.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. We'll have to get them to do it.
We think so
Stay
highly of our
tuned.
friends.
We'll post it. You guys can start betting now.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets.
All right, guys. That's all we got for you today. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Enjoy our
all
2-drink
our
minimum
rambling.
show. Hope you like it.
I hope you're drunk. Catch us on our website, nofashow.com, for our newest episodes. We'll catch you next week.
Dude, check out our YouTube channel. There's not much on there, but we have a nice interview with Justin Wong that's finally posted. Go check it out. Got some stuff.
Yes, we do.
And also a big shout out to your little brother Eddie for the
Yes.
editing.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate you, man.
We love
Good
you.
job.
Filmographer. Love it.
Yes, sir.
Go check him out, too.
We're
He's
going to
got
have
his
some
own
more
YouTube
video
channel.
coming your way.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Peace.